Happy Friday. So today I'm going to show you a couple things that we're doing. So this might be a little bit of a longer video compared to our other videos. So in 2015 or so, about 8 years, 8 years, we decided that, well, as a lot of you guys know, we have two sides of the business. We have the recycling side and the process and the equipment side. And we ended up getting a lot of interest in hard to process material more than usual. That's kind of when the lithium ion battery stuff started. The meatballs, power supplies, just different harder stuff that used to be export. So speaking of power supplies, there's a couple boxes right here. So we got into building equipment that could do that, AC adapters, small motors, you name it. So that our claim to processing hard materials kind of just caught up with us. We just started doing a lot of this oddball stuff. So one of the things that we had was that a lot of customers didn't want us to show their plants. They didn't want, everyone was real secretive. There's not many people doing this, and we just kind of got into this. So we decided, hey, we're going to set up a plant here that's going to act as both a demonstration plant, and that's what you see behind me here, demonstration plant, and also it was going to be a plant that that we could use here to test material, to better our craft, to get better at what we were doing, as well as make a little money and process some stuff for ourselves. So fast forward a little bit, we start doing a lot more of this stuff. We start getting really heavy involved in processing this type of material locally. It just snowballed into another whole plant. There's the plant you see behind me, we call Plant 3. And this plant always made a copper-rich material. I'm not sure if we have any here, but just a copper-rich material that we could feed into our plant, which we call Plant 2. And Plant 2 is kind of our bread and butter plant we've had for a long time. We've also been modifying and improving that. So that line back there is the line that is making copper-rich material for our other line. So long story short, or shorter, we have been doing a lot more recently with lithium-ion batteries. And we're trying to kind of change course here, and we're going to be selling some of the equipment that we have in this line. Not all of the equipment, but some of the equipment. Conveyors, I have eddy current, some mills, some conveyors, magnets, drum magnets, shaker tables. So it's not all bad. It's sad for me because this is something that I wanted to do in addition to this, right? Just set up another more space, and we're running out of space in this building. So until I get another building, until we have more space and more things we can do with, I have to pick and choose what we're going to be doing. So this is it. So we're going to be selling the mill, and this mill can be used for meatballs, can be used for batteries, lithium-ion batteries. We actually have a design to put into a lithium-ion battery line. So we're gonna repurpose this space for other things, and we're gonna use some of this equipment and reconfigure it, and hopefully get this. Now this still runs. This we turn it on, and when we still have like those power supplies, when I get enough of them, we'll turn it on. But we're not actively seeking that material anymore, because we're switching gears. So anyways, that's that. But I'm gonna show you guys some of the other stuff that we got going on. You guys have seen the large quad shaft shredder before that we installed recently, and that was in here, part feeding this, and then the material would go there. We are consolidating some of our efforts currently as we're gonna be parting. I don't know if we're gonna sell. If someone wants this whole line as it is, well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But we're gonna be using some of the components, and we're gonna really beef up our number 2 line. And here are some of the things that we're doing to the number 2 line. So I am going to be selling this single shaft shredder, which is still being used. But the material that we are creating with the quad shaft shredder is already small enough that I really don't need this. So right now I'm just using this as almost as a de facto dosing hopper. So it's not even being used really. And then it's going up there into the vertical mill. Now from the vertical mill, I've had, and that's the classic case of the shoemaker's kids have holes in their shoes. I have had this dosing hopper in place that feeds this turbo mill for 10, maybe 12 years, and it's not one that we make. And we've made these dosing hoppers and we've sold them just about all of our customers in the last, let's say 8 years or so has one of these dosing hoppers. Has the shorter version. So we made a long version. I have one more customer that has this longer version, but we made one for us here. So our old dosing hopper sat right here, and this is still the original turbo mill that we got. The other dosing hopper started about here and ended just a little bit behind this column. So we're, goodness, I want to say we're 3, 4, 5, maybe 5 times as much volume. And our problem here is always height. I don't have enough height here. So this building is not good for me because I don't have the height. But this is what we have, so this is what we work with. So anyways, this is gonna allow us a lot more space to be able to run. And a lot of things that happen in chopping, you'll get some material that you wanna either blend in or process kind of, you know, if you get some material that, hey, this needs to be re-cleaned, or you can throw that back in the system. Well, what happens then is if you don't have enough capacity here, you can't pause your vertical mill. I mean, you can't pause this side, or you have to pause this side, I'm sorry. So now everything that's coming in through the shredder, and actually we're gonna take that quad shaft shredder and bring it in here so we don't have to truck material back and forth in the building. But what ends up happening is you have to pause this because this here fills up so quickly. So now that this is a massive hopper, we can run this much longer. The other thing is too is that the other one, it wasn't one we made, it was something we had bought from someone originally. It had a pipe in the bottom, so it was a pipe auger. So the material as it was coming in, it was bridging on the bottom. So we put all kinds of agitators and vibrators and different things on it, and it never quite seemed to work. So this one here, which is our standard dosing hopper that we make, except it's much longer. So instead of it being a pipe that the material falls into the pipe, it's a trough. So the material slides into the bottom of the auger, to the sides of the auger. So it's much easier to fill and not have it bridge. So also that depends on what material you're running. If you're running a vertical mill and you're running some stringy material, it's going to roll that material as well as the turbo mill rolls material. So it's gonna flow pretty good. It's the end of an era on some stuff, but then we're upgrading and changing things. And I'm super excited about what we're gonna do next. So stay tuned for that. We're gonna share those plans to you guys. So it's always something going on, never a dull moment. So as you guys can see, we put a lot of new lights in here too, so a lot brighter. But anyways, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Happy Friday.